Hello everyone and good morning and warm welcome to another episode of MSFS VATSIM 2024. So today we are back at lovely East Midlands Airport, my local airport, with the Pyrigi software, scenery even. And we're doing a short flight somewhere new today, over to Nice in the south of France. We're back in the Airbus A321 as we were yesterday. So let's walk out to the aircraft. We'll get it all set up ready for our departure. So I've had a few requests saying that they want to see a full cold and dark setup all the way up to pretty much all the way to shutdown. So that's what we're going to achieve today, and make change of it in the night time as well. So let's have a walk out to the aircraft. I don't know why the tug is in like the worst position ever, but anyway, we'll have a walk over this side. Lovely scenery for for this flight really. I absolutely love the East Midlands scenery. Let's jump over here. As you see, ground power and everything is all connected. Gotta have a quick look at the fuel panel if we wish to. So how we open the cargo doors. See all the that's the refuel panel here, look. We don't tend to use the refuel panel purely because it's all done pretty much through GSX, so no real need for us to do anything there. So let's jump up on the aircraft and get it all set up. I hate the way these stairs work now, you have to proper waddle up them. One thing we can do, because we've got ground power connected, is pop the cabin lights on. That should all come on in a second. Loving this Jet2 holidays livery though, absolutely lovely. First officer's over here. I think he's a bit slept all night. It's a little bit grey over at East Midlands today. Generally near me it's a bit grey as well, so don't ask me what's going on with this passenger over here. It's just walking up and down. Clearly got some sort of problems there. So let's get the aircraft powered up. We are also running a new version of FS Realistic, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out. But we'll go from there. Just going to quickly save this view a second, and there we go. So let's get the aircraft powered up. So battery 1 can come on. Give it a couple of 10 seconds or so, and then back 2 can come on, and then we'll connect the external power. External power can be connected. So we'll pretty much go straight through the overhead flow for a start, and then we'll go from there really. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. And there we go. So let's start from the bottom left side all the way up. So we want the crew supply oxygen on. We will test the CVR. He says. Got the button stuck for a change. What's going on? There we go. So ground control can come online as well, and then we want the ADIRs, ADIR 1, ADIR 2, and ADIR 3, and that'll start its alignment process. Moving down here, let's on the emergency exit lights and no smoking can come on. We'll leave the seatbelt signs off for the time being, and we can pop the nav lights on as well. If we wanted to put some lights on, we could do, but to be honest, not much benefit this time of day. And then all fuel pumps can come online, and we'll quickly do the fire tests. So AP fire tests. Final 1. And fire number 3. So that's pretty much everything there. Moving down here, let's get the weather radar all online. So system 1, ground proximity 1, system on. Pop the transponder. We have actually already had our clearance. We can actually tune London's frequency 132 decimal 430. We've already been given our pre-departure clearance, which we'll go through in a second. And we'll get the cabin loaded, I think, as well. So let's jump down to the tablet. Let's load up the aircraft. We've only got 27 minutes to go to departure. We've got 210 passengers, and we'll have boarding and refueling as well. Cargo today 3,150 tons, and fuel required 9.7 tons of cargo. We've got a little bit extra, which we'll go through in a moment. Just going to change a couple of the airline modifiable bits, mainly because we want some of the call outs, and also we have got brake fans on, and we have the DCDU available as well. So let's quickly take you through the flight plan for today's flight. So actually we're in the 321 IAE variant of aircraft today. Call sign Channel 97 Juliet as per yesterday, and got cost index today of 34, cruise level of 35,000 feet. Zero fuel weight is 69.2 tons, which is below our maximum zero fuel weight. Takeoff weight is 78.5 tons, or 78.6 tons, shall we say, and that's still below maximum takeoff weight. However, if we do need to land, we are above our maximum landing weight, so we will need to burn some fuel. Hey everybody, what's the destination? The destination today is Nice in France, for those who wondering. So block time's around 2 hours and 10 minutes. Air time's around 1 hour 45. We expect a runway 09 for departure, so we're using the easterly runway here at East Midlands, and the Sapco 1 Papa Sid. Then pretty much tracking wise, let's just quickly take you through where we... So we're probably to go down, straight down the bottom of the UK. So we have actually lost the ATC channel that we were on. Then pretty much heading all the way down the bottom, and there's France overhead Paris, and down into Nice. We're hoping for a visual approach today in Nice. We'll see how that goes. We may not get the opportunity, but we'll see how we go. We expect a runway 04 left at Nice, and it's the Nice 7 Romeo arrival that we're after. As discussed with the fuel, 9.7 tons, that also gives us a little bit extra for taxi and any ATC and weather issues as well. Let's just quickly look at the weather here at East Midlands. So the current weather here is 070 degrees at 18 knots, so a little bit windy today. Good visibility, a few clouds that's broken at 1,200 feet. It's only 3 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty cold. And the QNH is 905 hectopascal, so we get that tuned in now. Weather over in Nice, 080 at 25 knots, so pretty rubbish weather to be fair. Expecting showers and rain for our arrival, so it could be a little bit of an interesting approach. And there we go. So refueling still on its way at the moment. As you see, we've got passengers boarding. We are, like I say, running FS Realistic Plus, the new version that came out a couple of days ago. If I'm honest, I've not fine-tuned any of the settings, so we'll need to have a bit of a play about with that anyway. So let's jump down to the MCDU, let's get that all planned, ready for our flight. So Channel 97 Juliet in the box here. Cost index we said was 34. Cruise level of 350. Next screen. So our block fuel is 9.7 tons. Zero fuel weight was 69.2. And we'll just have a quick look to see what our CG is going to be. So because it's 3 degrees, we are going to require anti-icing for takeoff. I'll tell you one, perhaps one departure. And so our 0 fuel weight is 26.1. Sorry, our CG is 26.1. And we've also got a headwind of 19 knots. So we're at East Midlands at the moment, and we're flying. Well, yes, technically I'm flying solo in the front. However, we do have a first officer here, but he's just there for show. He doesn't really do a great deal. Getting a few passengers getting on now. So back down to the MCDU. So that's the first page done. Performance. We'll have a quick look to see what that was. So this gives us all of our performance: 150, 155, and 158 for V2. Transition level 7,500. Flaps at 1 and upwards 6, and flex is 40. Engine out acceleration 1810, and thrust reduction 1810. Moving down to the flap on, so that's everything in the box here that we need. Pop it in there. So slats retraction speed 205 knots, and EGNX, which is here, runway 09 for departure, SAPCO 1 Papa. Insert that into the box. Arrival, we're expecting ILS 04 Yankee. And we're after the Nisa 7 Romeo, I thought it was. Nisa 7 Romeo, there we go. We can put a quick via in there as well. And we want it via MUS according to everything else. So if we have a look now, we can have a quick look at the flight plan, make sure there's no issues with that. So as you can see, as we depart, we're making a right turn overhead Hoddley, Birmingham, tracking down Finmer, so Bensu, we'll do Midhurst, Bognor, Bembo, then pretty much out the bottom of the UK. And pretty much tracking all the way down. This is overhead France. Make a left turn from Muse and then onto the ILS 04 left. We're hoping for a visual approach, so just depends on what the weather there is like. So we've already been given our pre-departure clearance, which was so we're cleared to left of NMA off runway 27. It says here. Well, I've got 09 for departure on this. So there's a quick change there. So we're actually departing from 27. So there's been a runway change. So we'll head down here. And we're now heading runway 27 and SAPCO 1 November instead. Which now means the takeoff data is all going to be incorrect. There's a very easy option to do that, so we'll just change it on here. 27, it's dry at the moment. And we'll just recalculate the speeds, which in fairness are a little bit better. So now if we head down there, we're sending it to the MCD, that's all set and ready. So refueling has completed, I believe. It's just getting this fuel truck out of the way, and we should get ourselves pushed back from stand in a moment. And then ready for the baggage loading. So what we'll do now is we'll just jump in the cabin quickly. I'm trying to remember which one the cabin option is, to be fair. Might be this one, there we go. Seatbelt sounds can come on. As you can hear, it's very noisy in there. So our charts are going to be slightly incorrect now, so we just need to make a change there for runway 27. Sapco 1 November. And now we've got the latest charts here as well, so we'll just update the charts on here. So see Sapco 1 November, so initial departure out of runway 27. Make a left turn onto a heading of 223. Initial climb is going to be flight level 90 at Sapco, so that'll be our initial climb route. And they want us to squawk 7276, so. Yes, this is simulated, but
there may be room further up.
I know one thing is the FS Realistic cabin voices are very, very loud. So I'm going to try and put them down a little bit.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. You're good to go.
Okay, Patrick, how are we doing, mate? Or Leonardo, sorry. I always say the wrong things because it depends on what pops up on here. I think passengers are pretty much all on board. And we're probably just waiting for cargo, I guess. Yeah, all passengers are on board. We're just waiting for the cargo to be loaded, which you can see is on its way up. So what we'll do then, we'll get the APU started. Hopefully all the audio volumes and everything are okay, they're not too loud for you. So then, cockpit preparation, gear pins and covers. Remove fuel quantity is 9,700 kilograms, and that is also balanced. Nothing in the centre tank today, so centre tank pumps can come off. Seatbelts on, adheres are set to nav. We'll just verify that with the data selection here. IRSs, all three in nav alignment. And Barrett at 995 hectopascals. So APU's on and available. We'll disconnect from external power now. So we're just waiting for these last few. Looking very grey there out at East Midlands today. So what we need to do is just move frequency going back to Unicom and 129430, which we should intercept as we sort of progress across. Don't think there's any other traffic here at East Midlands to cause any issues, so. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, Gatwick's lovely to fly from, in fairness. I do enjoy flying from Gatwick. So everything's all ready here. So what idle parking brake is on. Just waiting for the bags. Once they're on, we'll get ourselves pushed off. So I've got one more trolley by the look of it. I can still use that Leonardo, mate. You'll be fine with that.
Introducing the tea. We're just about ready for the offshore short taxi out to the southwest of Zimbabwe here. As you can, and we shall be underway shortly.
Crew boarding complete, ladies and gentlemen. This aircraft will shortly depart.
So boarding's completed, and we're pretty much good to go. So before start, parking brake is set, taking us with the thrusts. 135, 144, 149, thrust 34. Windows and doors closed, beacon could come on. No, we don't need anti-icing.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for
minute
engine
time,
start
minute
until
time.
push is completed and brakes are set. Departure check completed, bypass pin inserted.
So just wait for the plug to be connected, and then we'll get ourselves pushed back from stand. East Midlands traffic, Channel 97 Juliet pushing back from stand 15 to face to the east.
Locking gear. Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes release, clear to push.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Because we'll be flying over Paris, that's the reason for it. And, you know, I doubt there'll be much chaos to be fair, but it gets plenty of, well, should hopefully get more views that way. So we've got to stand by with engine start for now. I absolutely love this airport. It's quite a small airport to be fair, but it's pretty good. Cheers, thank you. So flight time is currently 1 hour 49 minutes. So I have to get ourselves back from stand as quick as possible.
Please set parking brake.
Quick set with disconnect. So we can start engine 1. Engine 1 start.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for flying with Jet2.com and Jet2.
Left is clear, right is
We're nearly
clear.
ready for takeoff, but before we go, you'll need to make sure all mobile phones, tablets, and other electronic devices are in flight mode and fully switched off. Thank you. This is because you are not allowed during the takeoff. With the seatbelt signs switched off, you can use your devices again as long
That's
as
the
they
pin.
stay in flight mode, as long as you can send messages, make calls, and access the internet.
Engine 1 available, starting engine 2.
If your device becomes damaged or hot, such as smoke, if lost or falls into the sea or the aircraft, tell it immediately. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted on board today. For your safety, please follow instructions. Please now make sure that any hand luggage is safely put away and your seatbelt is fastened and protected. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd just like to tell you about our friendly on-board together policy. We've created it to protect you and our cabin crew from any other unfortunate antisocial behaviour. That way we can make sure everyone has a great time. As a part of we drink alcohol that is served by our cabin crew. If you have brought alcohol in the terminal, you will not drink this on board. We want all our customers to enjoy being on board together. Thank you for listening.
Engine 2 start.
It's time to take you through the safety procedures for our Airbus A321neo. It's very important, so please remove any headphones. In front of you, you'll find a safety instruction card.
After start.
Information with details about emergency doors and escape routes, oxygen masks, how to use the life jacket, the brakes position, and more.
After start, anti-ice not engine and wing anti-ice is on. Ecom status check. Pitch trim 0.6 up. Rudder trim is neutral. Flight controls. Pull up. Pull down. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. Rudder. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral.
Take a look for your nearest exit now. Bearing in mind that they may be behind you. If you need to
So, ready for taxi.
take off your shoes or anything that may damage the slide.
Quick released.
All luggage behind and go to
East
your
Midlands Road,
nearest
Channel X978, taxi into runway 27 at holding point Alpha 1.
pressure. Masks okay. As soon as you see it, pull down to start the flow of oxygen. Breathe normally as you put it over your mouth and nose. Then adjust to fit.
Great, check.
Make sure you put your own mask on first before helping anyone else. The bag on the mask may not inflate, but rest assured oxygen will still be flowing.
A life jacket can be found in a protective bag under your seat. When told by us, open the bag by pulling it up, move it and pull it over your head. Put the strap around your waist, fasten at the front as they showed you, and tighten by pulling the tab.
Once
Left
you're
side clear.
outside the plane, inflate the life jacket by pulling down on this red cover. If you need to inflate it more, blow into this tube.
There's also a light and a whistle to help you attract attention.
It's time to fasten your seatbelt. Simply press the two metal ends of your seatbelt together until they click. Then pull the strap to adjust so it's tight and low around your waist. To release your seatbelt, just lift the metal cover.
So you're ready to take off. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened, with your tray table and cup holder folded away, your armrests down, and your window. Please check the bags or loose items are safely put under the seats in front of you.
Thanks for listening. We'll soon be on our way.
Taxi, checklist, flight controls. Check flap setting, config 1 plus F. Radar, predictive wind shear system on auto. Decom memo, take off, no blue. Hello, flight deck.
Camera and door 1 left, cabin secure for takeoff.
Wonderful, thank you. So, cabin secure, let's get ready to go. So there's nothing on the radar that we can see. We should be able to enter the runway pretty much straight away. So TCAS T8RA. East Midlands traffic, Chadex 900, land at runway 27. So, line of check, just take off when we confirm a runway 27. It's bound for 1. Config 1 plus F. TCAS T8RA packs 1 and 2 both on. So thrust 50%. These wheels track channel sounds into the part into some. Take off. Man flex 34 SRS runway auto thrust blue. Thrust sets. Knots. DV1. Retake. Positive climb. Go. Nav. Tourists climb by. Oh, I don't think I quite like this new FS realistic roll business. Seems very bouncy. Flap 0 speed, check flap 0. AV1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stay seated until the seatbelt signs have been turned off and
There must be overhead lockers as things might have moved around. Don't forget, smoking and vaping are not allowed in any part of the plane, including the toilets.
our cabin crew are currently preparing our famously friendly in-flight service. Take a look at our tasting menu. We've got loads of offer, so see what takes your fancy, and we'll be with you soon.
Yeah, so first impressions of using FS Realistic with no adjustment at all is it seems a little bit heavy-handed and a bit rough. On the ground it seemed fine, but I don't know if you noticed during that takeoff roll, it seemed to throw us about a little bit, which is a bit strange. So, standard pressure. And we'll continue our climb now, flight level 350. So we've got an altitude constraint here. Yeah, it's a little bit too jumpy for my liking.
Traffic 1866, now that's established on this 155 miles out.
Yeah, no, covered over the, you've got the mini one. Oh, nice one. There's not many people with the Java Zen products, to be fair, so it's nice to see someone with something similar, but the large is really good, really, really good. Can't really complain about that at all. Yeah, I'm not really loving this new FS Realistic add-on. Granted, it needs a bit of tweaking. Yeah, so for me, FS Realistic's been a little bit too jumpy for my liking. I do like the fact it's actually built in the sim app now, which is a little bit better. But unfortunately, there's no, you literally cannot, oh, it's a lie, there is actually someone has actually made one now. I'm wondering, let's see if, I'm going to try and download it and see if we can use it, see if it's any better. It may not be. No, I've not had any major issues, buddy. I would say just reach out to them because there has been quite a few software updates for JS Connect recently. I'm still actually on one of the previous versions for 4.4.4. I would say drop them a message on WhatsApp. Just say that my panel's all of a sudden not working. So 10,000 feet, landing light's gone. Yeah, the weather in the UK today is looking a little bit iffy. So yeah, like I say guys, I'm feeling very good with this at the moment, but oh, I bet that sounds horrible. So that will sound dreadful like that. So we'll see how that goes now. I've just downloaded someone's custom profile to see if it's any better. When you say it stopped working, is it just not working at all? Because I did have that a little while, like about 2 weeks after, and I just uninstalled JS Connect and reinstalled it, and then it worked fine again. So I don't know quite what happened there. Also double check all your firmware's up to date as well. That's another thing I'd suggest checking. So got a quick company message, it's just the load sheet, nothing exciting on that. So just overhead Daventry. We will be looking to see if there's any little shortcuts that we can do. We just got to be a little bit cautious, especially down around London. They're going to be pretty much in their airspace. still not a big lover of this head wobbling business. Now we'll look, see if we can turn that head anticipation. Are you still with us, Leonardo? There's certainly some evil looking cloud out today. It's nice that you get the odd little bit of turbulence with it as well. So release the cabin. Really straight run from here. So like I say, it's the first time we've actually flown to Nice, so we'll certainly need to do a bit of studying with the charts. I hope we can all do it together, really. So this is the standard instrument departure. So this is the first waypoint of the chart. So we're doing the Nissa 7 Romeo. So we're actually following this route in here. So 6,400 feet terrain. So this is what we're interested in. So we need to be below 320 here. (160) on Amphu. Max speed of 250 knots and 12,000 feet out typic. And for our moves, flight level 80. Then we are expecting the ILS Zulu approach, I believe. What's it? ILS Yankee? ILS Yankee even. So we're expecting 04 left. We're coming from this waypoint here, which is the Musa waypoint. Make a right turn and then we'll be onto the ILS. Like I say, hopefully if the visibility is good, we will go for a visual approach. Hey buddy, welcome from France. Hope you're well. So apologies, it's a really early flight today. The reason being is I'm on nights tonight, so can't do an evening stream. But I thought we can do one this morning, and I can have a little nap this afternoon. Was the plan. There certainly seems to be a lot more features with FS Realistic Plus. So far, it's just caused us more of a hindrance than anything else, to be honest. So guys, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. We're trying to answer them the best we can. Got a couple of aircraft behind us at the moment. We did have London online, but they seem to have gone offline. It's a bit of a shame, but there we go. Anyway, we can go to Mach 0.81. Let's see if we can do a little bit of naughty. Just going to come slightly inside Gatwick's control zone. We're well above the actual controlled area, so might just go to the next few minutes. So landing time is currently 12:21 is the estimated time for landing. 626 miles left to run. So we've only been flying for about 15 minutes or so. Very, very short flight so far. But yeah, it'd be a nice little flight to Nice. And then we'll probably do the return leg tomorrow, I'd imagine. However, that one probably will be in the evening. You see, we're just breaking through the cloud nicely. We are getting there slowly. So at Bognor we'll do a quick fuel check just to make sure we're on par with fuel used.
It is having simulated X-ray spotting 01 drive from the box achieved.
For traffic speed for Concord 9003, we are November Bravo 3, like to cross 9 right. Anybody departing?
So we should have 8,000 and, well, where are we, is so 6.4 tons.
Traffic
We should
speed
have
for
more than
Concord
that.
9003, we are crossing behind the departing British Airways, that's the 15.
Few naughty storm clouds there.
Thank you, Speedbird 828, you have a good day.
So we're just picking up a little bit of Gatwick's ATC there. Well, Unicom's traffic anyway. But yeah, unfortunately no ATC on today, which I thought could be an issue. There's quite a few planes over the mid-level of Paris at the moment. And then we'll see what it's like down in Nice. Like I say, we've never really flown to Nice. We've been to La Palma and places, but never really been to Nice. So not far off our cruise level really, another 60 miles or so and we should be on top of that. So we're currently doing around 500 miles an hour. Everything's all good system wise. We've got one in-op system which is the transfer tanks. Center transfer tanks, which is fine because we're not utilising them today. So once we just get out of London, which is not really too long. So once we're out of London sort of airspace, I will disappear for a few minutes just to go and grab a drink and bits. Weather should be okay now really. we're just going to initiate our climb a little bit just so we can try and get out some of this dodgy looking cloud. We'll have a good look at the weather at our destination on the Navigraph. So we've got quite a lot of turbulence in the air, a few showers as rounds as well, so chances are could be a bit of an interesting landing. But so there's a few little shower cells just around the northern side of the airport at the minute. So guys, bear with me a couple of minutes, just going to go and get a drink and bits. So pretty much out of most of the cloud. 5,000 feet left to go. So just grabbing a drink. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of turbulence. Our way up. Quick look. It's looking a little bit dodgy, isn't it? So our optimal is 350. We may need to consider climbing above. I'll see if any of this weather gets any worse. So quite a few patches of rain and weather and turbulence and things. So it's quite high up as well for that. But I do love the weather radar that they've developed for this. It's pretty good, to be fair. I don't think it's quite as accurate as it could be. So there's not much chaos over France today. Normally it is quite chaotic in fairness. Hence the reason for the name of the stream, but it probably should be called chaotic weather. I think it's probably more likely. But we'll see how we go. We've got about 40 miles till we start hitting this weather. Hopefully it will disappear a little bit. You can consider turning to the right a little bit. One thing we could do is have a chat with one of the aircraft that's further ahead. I wonder where they've flown from though. So he's only just flown out of the Charles de Gaulle, so he's not going to be much use to us. There's an aircraft here. He's flown across it. J25Q. So I've just asked the other aircraft that's just loaded pretty much across where we're about to fly into, just to ask if there's any major issues with the weather. Obviously we don't really want to be flying into any of this red region, so we may consider making a slight left turn, maybe to 135, just try and skirt around most of it. We'll see how bad it is. Sometimes it's not as bad as it makes it. I think it's quite as clear out there today as it was a few days ago though. So we'll do another quick fuel check as well. just to make sure we are where we should be. So we're just approaching the next, so Vilu. So we should have 6 tons, 6,007 kilograms, so we're still way above where we should be. So we've got to look at a couple of messages, see if there's any delay codes or anything. No ADC delay code required. Don't know if you're still with us, Leonardo, are you? Not sure. So he's not responded to my request about any weather. So looks like we're in it on our own. So the other option is to climb again to another flight level above or fly below it. So the max flight level we could go to is 370. And obviously we need to go to 370. So it looks like we're just going to skirt around that weather, just. We may be alright. So we used 2.7 tons of fuel so far. Weather seems to be improving as we get nearer to it, so. Yeah, I'm not sure how the whole visual approach is going to play out today, but to see how that goes. There's a few aircraft on the ground. So in case of a missed approach on landing, climb on the heading of 042. And then turn right. Climb to 3,000 feet, so it's pretty much as already planned. So, what I'm just going to double check to make sure. One thing we can do though is we can we go to 222. So what we can do, if we look down in the MCD here for a second, we can put an extended centre point. So what we can do is after here we could go to fix info. What we do is we put the reference point in, which will be LFMN 04 left as the fixed reference, and we said we're going to be heading 222 degrees. And we put that in the radial box, So now if we have a quick look on the plan, we've now got an extended centre line for runway 04 left on this blue line here. And another thing we can also do, if we want to put a 10-mile radius around it, we can do. So we put a 10, so we know where 10 miles is, and we can also beam that as well, so you know exactly at the point of turning, but we don't actually need the. We'll insert that into the plan. So the other aircraft just responded, no issue at flight level 300. I think we're going to get away with it, to be fair. Weather seems to be reducing as we're getting closer to it, so. So we've been flying 40 minutes and the start time was 46 minutes ago. So that was the point we started the engines. And so 12:21, so we're at about another hour flight time. So let's just request the latest weather for Nice, just see what the weather's going to be doing when we get there. When we last looked, it was quite windy there in fairness. It doesn't stop us doing a visual approach if it is windy, it's just something we have to take into consideration. So we'll head back and we'll look at the messages here, so weather data. So the METAR is currently 08011 knots, so I'm going to get my little cheeky notepad up. So 080 at 11 knots, so the wind's pretty good to be fair. Good visibility, few clouds broken. 2,600 feet scattered at 5,300, and temperature's 14 degrees, so we're not going to need anti-ice for landing. QNH 1005, and there's going to be there is currently some showers there at the minute, showers and rain. But it's only temporary, so should be okay. So you can see that blue line, that is our extended centre line. It shows like for forever pretty much. Well, I think it's forever. Just double check to make sure it is actually that. But So the first restriction is going to be flight level 340, and that's at Nisar. So we're pretty much there already. It's fair enough on that. Only 240 miles till that. So far the weather's been pretty good. How everyone's doing here. How much is going on right now?
All the traffic for today, tonight, in the province to Francisco.
How are we all doing, everyone? All good? All enjoying themselves there, look. Hey, Captain Phillips, how are we doing, buddy? Pretty sure all these seats move as well, don't they? Yeah, I thought they did. It's pretty cool. Hey buddy, how we doing? Yeah, we're good here, thank you. I'm just off on a short flight over to Nice. Well, it's our first ever flight to Nice, in fairness. Never flown there before, so could be a little bit of an interesting landing. The weather's not the best. It's raining there currently, but nothing too drastic. What's something we can do actually? Let's pop in our arrival performance. So the QNH is currently 1005. Temperature 14 degrees Celsius. Wind is 080 at 11, so it's better than it was earlier. It was like 20 knots earlier, so 065 transition level. And we'll have a good look at the barrow on here. And we have to unless the Yankee, here's our minimums down the bottom here. So we'll go 390 because there's a good chance that we're going to be doing a visual approach. So update on our rudder pedals. So I did make a mistake. I thought it was going to be here yesterday for some reason, but I misread the date because it's in American. Obviously, it's back to front, so it looked to me like it was saying the 2nd not really paying much attention to the month. Turns out it's actually the 9th that's coming, so next Monday it should be here. Though I think it will be here before, to be honest. Last time I checked it was in France, so it shouldn't be too long. We could probably go along and collect it on the way. So it'll just be waiting for its flight across here to the UK. I don't think it'll be too long, in fairness, before it's here. I'm quite excited about trying them, in fairness, because I'm not sure how they're going to fit or anything, so it's going to be a bit of a trial and error job, really. But no, I'm looking forward to giving them a try. So we're using FS Realistic Plus today. If I'm honest, it's the first time we've used it. Like I say, we're having to tweak settings a little bit as we go. So we're knocking a little bit of time off. Knocked about 4 minutes off so far. Whether we're able to knock a few more minutes off, we may not be able to. It's difficult to sort of say, really. Anyone that's looking at getting the MCD from Wind Control, I would certainly recommend getting it. It's a very, very good bit of kit, to be fair. Can't complain at all, really. Obviously, we are still waiting for extra product from Java Simulator. I'm not sure when that's going to turn up, to be fair, but if I'm honest, I'm not paying for it, so I'm not really bothered when it turns up. But it will be nice to eventually have a radio panel. So we've got a nice juicy 24 knot headwind, which is obviously another reason why we're a bit slow. If it was flying the other way, it would probably be pretty good. If we really want to be naughty, we could go down Nisa. I don't know if that would really save a huge amount of time. It probably would save a little bit of time. It's actually, yeah, a few miles further, but it's knocked off another minute so far. So it's quite a steep descent down into Nice by the look of things. We can have a good look to see what auto brake function we need to use for our landing. So arrival performance 404 left. Our landing weight is estimated to be 73.2 tons. So pretty much entire runway length on the low, so we'll probably go medium for our auto brake options. After landing, let's have a good look to see where we probably should be vacating. I'm guessing the place where we're designed to vacate is probably going to be here at Echo Golf, I would imagine, and then hold at Golf 1. We'll have a quick look on the charts just to see what it recommends. So arrival traffic. Sometimes it gives you specific instructions about what taxi routing that we should take. So taxi procedure 04 left, exit no further than taxiway Golf 1. So basically where we just said basically. So yeah, we can't exceed here, so that's our limit. So auto brake medium should be more than sufficient. There is a little bit of displacement with the thresholds, as you can see here. 04 left sits further in than 04 right, so that's just something to observe, just to make sure we get on the right runway. Especially with a visual approach, there's more chance of us making that sort of mistake. Hopefully we won't make any mistake, but it's always good to be aware of potential mistakes that could happen. Hopefully the visibility is good, so it should be quite obvious which runway to land on. Hey buddy, how we doing? Hope you're well. So I'm really hoping that we get a nice visual approach. I really am. Not flown a visual approach in a long while, to be fair. Watched an interesting video from Airliners Live actually yesterday about go around procedures and missed approaches. Certainly something that I've learned a few tips from, and the different types of go-arounds as well. I just presume there's one type of go-around, but there's many sort of different situations with go-around. So there's like a it's all to do with your decision point really. So if it's below minimums, there's a couple of different ones. So there's the standard missed approach procedure that you'll follow, or standard go-around, and then there's a debunked go-around, which we probably do more on flight sim than actually happens in real life. Basically when you're pretty much either touching the ground and something goes disastrously wrong and you go around straight away. And then there's another one, and I can't remember the name of that last one, but it's basically to do with, so it's before the minimums point, and instead of having a huge surge of power by going straight into toga, what they tend to do is they'll pull heading selects. Obviously they'll reduce the flaps by one setting as well, and then increase the thrust manually rather than slamming it into toga and then having a massive rush of power. and then potentially overspeeding and things. Hey Luke, how are you, buddy? So we're 288 miles, 12:18 is now our estimated landing time, really. Yes, the weather's looking a lot better than it was a few minutes ago. So I think we're pretty much all briefed for our landing into Nice. There's a few aircraft in front of us. Obviously, if we do a visual approach, the flight directors can come off as well. So we've got about 120 miles until we need to be at our next sort of descent point. So. Pretty nice views, to be fair. Certainly proceeding well, so shouldn't be long till we get on the ground really. So we'll do another update for the weather shortly. So we need to make sure that the weather's not changed significantly. Hopefully it's not changed at all, but there's still a few shower clouds looming around. To look at see what the latest weather's telling us. So 0709, so a little bit of an update on the weather there. Still showers and rain, temperature still 14 degrees, Units 105. So it's just the wind that's changed slightly, so we can just update that on here. 0705. So still consider the landing speed of 144. We'll probably give ourselves one extra knot, 145, and a land speed of 139. So for those of you that don't really fly with the Phoenix, it's a wonderful bit of kit, so I would always recommend flying it. If you want to learn systems in aircraft well, and something that's true to life, definitely recommend buying the Phoenix. If you haven't bought it yet, I would say wait a couple more months and wait till the A320, 21 and 19 and Neo come out. So till the Neo variant comes out, and then it'll be a lovely addition really. That's what we're all waiting for here, is the Neo. There's not huge differences in terms of the way the aircraft functions. They sound completely different because they have different engine option and they have different derated thrusts as well. But there's a few extra features, such as some of the extra systems, such as the auto brake off sort of functions. So when you land and then disconnect the auto brake manually, you'll get an audible warning saying auto brake off. But other than that, the Phoenixes are all pretty much the same as each other. One's just a bit bigger than the other. So it wants us to be a flight level 340, so in approximately 80 miles, so we could literally just lose 1,000 feet, just go 100 feet per minute. Get us nicely at some point. Then the passengers won't even notice the fact that we're starting our descent a little bit. So we're still proceeding quite well. The night lighting on here is so much better now as well. So we've still got 219 miles left to run. We'll get the cabin secure about flight level 140. That's typically around the time when we tend to do it. Still no ATC on, unfortunately, in this area. Yeah, like I say, making a nice slow descent here, really. Nothing too drastic. Ecom actions. What's going on here? Air pack 2 overheat. So we've got a fault light on pack number 2. Pack 2 off, then overheat out, then on again. So pack 2 is off. Confirm pack 2. And let's observe. You can see it's overheated. 210 degrees Celsius on that side, 100 on that side. So we've turned that back off. Could always consider ram air as another option. Just double check the pressurization. So cabin pressurization's okay, 7,000 feet per minute, even though we've lost pack number 2. So we'll just let that cool down, just see if it fixes itself. It may do. I do like that for the Phoenix. It does throw up the odd little fault here and there. That's part of the random fault setting. So it's just a case of letting the pack cool itself down, monitor for any obviously fire or anything like that. Nothing out of it. There's no smoke recorded in the cockpit. There's none of anything else. So it's just a case of waiting for that pack to cool itself down. Not ideal this close to the landing. It's not affecting the pressurization system. So at 110 degrees now, it's better than nearly 300 degrees that we were at. So we'll just keep an eye on it so it's down. We'll just let it cool completely down. So once that overheat light's out, then we should be able to reintroduce it and we'll see what happens. Could be the pack's gone faulty. But yeah, we'll just let that temperature cool itself down nicely. So 40 feet per minute, 320, so this should allow cooling. So we've opened the pack system. So although that pack is still inoperative and we're still cooling it, we've opened the bleed valve, which then basically allows the air to be transferred between the two. It's fair, there's no actual need for that though, because the airplane can operate perfectly well without that pack working. So when pack 2 overheat out, so let's try and introduce pack 2 and we'll just see what happens. Please. I'll just monitor that now just to see if it's getting crazily hot again. Look, let's just leave it a little bit longer. It's minus 10 degrees on that side. So it looks like we got a fault with the aircraft, with the pack system. No major issue. As long as the pressurization system's holding, that's the main thing. A little bit of a crosswind now. Not long at all now till we land, about 30 minutes, just under 30 minutes. Should be on the ground about 1/4 past. Like I say, we maybe have to make a little bit of a shortcut. Pack 2 off confirmed. Yeah, that's fine. So it is a little bit unusual for a pack just to fail. That is one of the things of the Phoenix. But sometimes the items will just randomly fail. I've not had one for a little while, to be fair. Generally they're things that are either fixable or things you can operate without ruining your flight. So no major issue really for us. So 135 miles left to run. So it wants us between flight level 200 and 240, just double check that on the chart as well. Just have a nice steady descent really. So it's nice. So we'll just go back to manual throttle. Well, not manual, but managed speed. So there's a lot of high terrain around where we're flying, hence the reason for this. Probably will have terrain on both sides and weather. That's got weather on his side, we'll have terrain our side. So still no ATC at the moment. We're going to have a quick look for the traffic in the vicinity as well. Don't think there's anything really that's going to cause us some. There's an Air France just landing as we speak. He's just about to turn onto finals for the runway. There's a couple of aircraft on the ground, but other than that, everything's pretty much the same as it was. As see, we've got that extended centre line there, so we've got the 10-mile ring around the airport, then we've got the extended centre line as well for us to use. So obviously if we can't do that sort of approach, then we'll just move on to back to the ILS. That's our sort of fallback plan. The Stravit Genix 97 Juliet is on the Star Nisa 7 Romeo arrival, descending to flight level 160 overhead Amflor. So I would say we could go direct pivot, but we can't, purely because of the terrain that's surrounding it. Minimum safe altitude 10,700 feet. Obviously got some pretty hefty mountain ranges off to our left side here. As you see, we're still speeding quite nicely. We'll try and get this time down as much as possible. So about 17 minutes and we should be on the ground, all being good. So give it a couple of minutes, then we'll get the cabin secure for landing. Cabin crew, prepare the cabin for landing, please. Oh, it won't be long now until we're on the ground. It really won't be long. So we'll activate the landing system for the time being. And once we get in a minute to flight level 120, we're going to proceed past that. So there are a couple of aircraft around. Hopefully they're not doing circuits now. Also after La Palma and after Heathrow. So there's a couple of aircraft just landing. He's just landing, and there's another aircraft just landing as well. So let's go manage speed. So then approaching 10,000. Oh, you see a little bit of static there? A little touch of static electricity just flying about there. So we'll have a quick look at the glide slope. So to intercept the ILS, I think it's say 4,000 feet, and then we'll pull it down. The threshold displacement is 49 feet, and right. Going to try and reduce the rate of descent to touch just for a minute. Try and get this speed down. Local QNH 1005. Trying to slow ourselves down nicely now. East traffic channel 97 Juliet is base turn 4, runway 04 left. Let's reduce our speed back even further to 20. Bit of rain. So, approach checklist bar of 1005, seatbelts on, the minimums of 390, auto brake, medium, engine motor locked and all. So we're going to reduce our speed back lovely now. So speed check for laps 1. Probably still going to need a little bit of spoilers. It's the Java simulator over there. So we are going to have to go on the ILS approach initially. So Cat 3 dual, AP1, AP2. Obviously we've got no visual at the moment. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a visual. speed check flaps 2.
Cabin crew, 10 minutes to landing.
Lock star. East traffic. Chanex 97 Juliet is on the ILS 04 left. So we're staying at 4,000 feet for the minute until we get a decent visual. Bit of thunder then. So 160. Cabin crew seats for landing, please. And these traffic channels are 70 reducing to 160 until 4. So glides up slowly coming in. The weather is dreadful. So we've got tailwind 14 knots. So star. Glide slope is alive. So I think we've got the runway just about in sight. I'm just going to wait for the weather to settle a little bit. So we're still getting thunder storm clouds at the minute. Not seen proper thunderstorms in here for ages. Approach is armed. So let's configure a little bit earlier, get out. Check flaps 3. traffic channel 970 at 5 miles from touchdown, runway 04 left visual approach. Manual flight. Lovely beach there. So the puppy's to the right of the runway. To minimum approach speed. So there's a good chance we could have a wind shear. If that's the case, then we'll go around. Checked. Continue.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Go around. Go around flaps. Mantoga SRS, go around track. V1, rotate. Positive, right, climb, go. Back retracts. These traffic, channel 970, go around. Runway 04 left. Check flat 1, please. Just climb, climb. It was too long, too far down the runway, in my opinion anyway. And I don't know if you saw the way that we touched down there. That was not a nice way to touch down. So we'll head back out, we'll go for another visual approach. We just floated a bit too long, that was all. That was literally it. We'll have a quick look there at the ground, what's it called? It's called ground something, isn't it? Ground roll. Ground effect. So back to, what should we say, it's 180, I would say. Just trying to avoid some of this dodgy weather as well. Probably want to stay out of the way of that other Air France as well. Not focusing what I'm doing, that was. So we're back to around 4,000. If we just keep an eye on for this other aircraft here. There he is. So let's go flaps 2, speed check flaps 2. On the approach again. So let's make this right hand turn now. There's no ATC on this, this is the beauty, is we can get ourselves sorted a bit earlier. These traffic channels now seem to turn in onto funnels 104 left.
2,500.
Get out.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Minimum approach speed. Runway is in sight. Check flaps 3 and flaps 4. Landing check, let's go around altitude 3,000 feet. Cabin ready to go memo, landing in the blue.
1,000.
These traffic channels, 97 Juliet, short funnels, 1 meter 4 left. Approach.
Minimum.
Continue.
300. Retard. 7. 5.
Bumpy all the way down.
Spoilers. Reverse screen. Brake medium decel. Manual braking. These traffic channel 900 vacating Tango Golf. The landing radar predictive wind shear system is off. I'll probably complete.
Now that we've landed, please don't stand up just yet.
Rather than standing and waiting, please stay seated and buckled up until we switch the seatbelt signs off. Please leave your phones in your bags or pockets. You can switch them on when we open the plane door. Just to let you know, you're not allowed to smoke or vape on the journey to the terminal or in the terminal itself. Before you go, please make sure you've got everything with you. And take care when you open the overhead lockers, as some things may have moved during the flight. As you leave us, please take care as there will be a gap between the plane and the steps or air bridge. If you're travelling with children, please hold their hand. Remember, as the saying goes, mind the gap.
Our friendly customer helpers are all ready and waiting.
So we're on uniform.
We can't miss them. They're wearing our famous red uniform. Of course, with a big welcoming smile.
From everyone at Jet2.com and Jet2 Holidays, we can't wait to see you again.
Anyway, we got ourselves down on the ground, so
A lovely holiday.
was a bit of a hard landing there. Right then, so we're on uniform. Probably going to be right onto Tango up here. Just trying to establish which gate to take. Parking probably. 22. Stand 7 Juliet is turning right onto Tango and then stand 22. Other aircraft's also moving now, so we just need to be cautious of him. I'm going to continue straight ahead and we're going to veer off to the right side here. Pretty much where he's going. Yeah, so it wasn't the most fantastic landing ever. Quite a hard landing really, hence why we had a few screams. He's flying around here. So I don't know if he's going to the same stand. I don't think he is, but just get rid of the weather radar for a minute. So we are 2 minutes supposed to cool down, but we're virtually on stand, so not much benefit there. I'll say the first approach was a little bit too long. I don't know where this guy is going. He seems to be like jumping around all over the shop. He's going to be blocking our stand by the look of things. Please have a look, see where he's going. Very beautiful scenery there, I'll give it that. And to be fair, I didn't really stutter on landing, so... Oh, please don't say you're going in the same place. So you're going to stand 22, which is the next on the right. Good morning, how are we doing?
Mr. Reference 34 Romeo reporting was left. Okay, several Alpha departure Nice.
parking brake sec. Close cut engine instruments has elapsed. We haven't got the APU on though for some reason. Something we forgot to do, so I'll have to stand by a couple of minutes. Just wait for the APU. So it's a bit iffy the weather today. We've still got our little visual approach, so cheers for that, buddy. You say nice flight. It wasn't the best of landings, I can assure you of that. So just waiting for the APU to start. Once that's all started, then we're good to go. Yes, I know you want me to cut my engines, mate, but I was just waiting for the minute. So it sounds like the APU is just about on. Let's wait for it to tell me it's available. You can hear all the trips clicking. APU's available. Engine and Mazda 2. 1 and 12.
East traffic France 34 Kilo Romeo, climbing past 2000 final con. East.
External power's on and connected. Parking check. This parking brake is set to take off, not take off speed, so I'm on engines off, wing lights are off, power fuel pumps off, parking check this complete. So guys, thank you very much for joining us on this short flight. We're just getting the deboarding process started as we speak. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Really enjoyed this couple of hour flight. Like I said, it wasn't the best of landing, so I'll give you the quick landing rate in a second. Depends which landing rate it takes, because obviously we did 2 attempts. So the second landing, so the actual landing rate was 341 feet per minute, so a little bit on the hard side, but it got us down nice and safely anyway. We didn't strike the tail on the floor, which is always a bonus with the 321. As you see, there's a few aircraft on the ground here at Nice. We'll be doing a return flight once the aircraft has been fixed. So I don't know if you guys noticed in the flight, we did have an issue with one of the packs overheating. So pack number 2 is overheating, so we have to turn it off for the second half of the flight. But no, thank you very much everyone for watching, and hope to see you all again very soon. Take care, bye for now.